Great day today. So I had a few minutes to get the computer restarted here. So it took a little bit, but because our live session, sometimes we got to reset. But hopefully you guys can hear me and see me all good this morning. Lewis is here. Lewis Martinez, good morning. Idris is here. Good morning. We got Dean and Lynn, Thomas Love, Tanner. You got John and Sonal along with Marcin. Good morning. Good morning. Kevin is here. Good morning. Gary. All right. And we got Johnny here as well. All right. So we're going to jump in to what we got as a focus this morning. So we had a SMCX we were watching yesterday. We got a little bit of a movement up, nothing major. But we're starting to see it hold this level around $9 a share, okay, on SMCX. So over on SMCI, that level is holding just around $30 a share. And so we get to see this level kind of hold into today. And here at Market Open, the last few minutes, starting off a little bit with the spike there, first thing this morning, and then we get a sell down slightly in the last few minutes. So we get that big spike here at Market Open up to 958. And now we're looking to potentially add. Now, what we were looking at yesterday was this level here at around 850 to launch from here essentially and break out above that key resistance level. Now, not always is that resistance level going to be acting as a support, but with the momentum we start to see breaking up above it and then potentially using it as a support, a lot of times institutions are going to identify resistance as resistance, but then previous resistance, if it's broken above, as support. And that's kind of what we see this morning, a little bit of that level. And now we're getting this range between this $8.50 level and this $9.50 level here on SMCX. So we're going to give it just a little bit here. Going to see how it holds if we get this bounce here around this EMA, which I do like. So essentially we're looking for break further up into $10 to $11 a share for SMCX. Earnings were good for most of the tech companies this week. We've seen a lot of growth, but we did see a little bit of a stall there on Tesla. So just something to keep in mind. So what we're looking at here, guys, we got essentially looking at the AI markets, a company that provides for xAI to run their huge, massive supercomputer. And with SMCI, we're looking at the 2X, which is SMCX. So with SMCX, okay, there's a lot of companies that have 2Xs. Apple stock has a 2X. Google is, I think, GOOX. Most stocks have a 2X. Trading 2X can sometimes be volatile or more volatile than trading the underlying company. So there is more risk a lot of times associated with trading the 2X. Nevertheless, we're actually going to add a little bit here. We're starting to see it hold. So we're just going to add a little bit there, just about 1400 here to this position here on SMCX. And we're going to move our average up a little bit there to about 910. And we're looking for a move here to continue this breakout. All right, so the breakout for SMCX is essentially anticipating something like this, at least getting up to around 13 to 14 is kind of what we're watching. So that would be actually a 49% increase. And so in investing, you can get into stocks and just kind of see what happens. If it goes up, it's starting to recover, and kind of guess. But all we're going to do here is we're going to have a plan so that a lot of people don't learn to have a plan when they get into short-term trades. But all we're going to do is have a plan here. And the goal is simply to, if we're going for it here, about potentially, I think a minimum of about 20%. We're looking for that 40%, which would be great. But we're looking for this breakout here into about 1091. So that would be about a 10% uptick on SMCI. Fairly bullish, fairly even aggressive to expect that move today. But I'm expecting that move because we start to see Supermicro Computer get a lot more attention into the last day or so. And I think once this stock gets more attention, the technicals are one thing, but the institutions start to recognize things like financials and the increased revenue and increased assets that they've been seeing over the last few quarters, doubling really their revenue. Then you start to see really, really large moves a lot of times. So that's kind of what we're anticipating. So with that 20% to 40% margin for profit, the stop loss here, what I'm going to set here, we're looking at this level. So that would be, if we're going for about 20%. Yeah, having some risk management just down below where we saw it kind of go down today. Here at market open, it went down to 871. That would be a 4% sell down. I wouldn't really like to see that. I think what would make a lot of sense, it's up to 950 now. So we're gonna have our stop loss right here around $9 a share. Okay. So if this move is going to happen, it's going to most likely break above 950. It's at 940 right now, 945, 946, getting a little more momentum. If we see a break above this 950 here, then we're really starting to see institutions confirm that Supermicro Computers is more of a breakout today. Now, if we get this rejection here at 950, things start to look a little more bearish. So that's really just it. So what does that mean? It means I'm going to set my stop loss just below here, at around $9 a share. We're up just about 86, 87 bucks on this trade here. Get my sell stop set here at 90. And again, pretty small investment. Just working there with just about 2,000. Right? So we're looking for, if we're looking for about a 40% here, or 20 to 40% potential swing, what is that? That's going to be, what did we say we're in this thing for? 2,500? Is that right? Or, oh, we're in this for about 2,000. So, what does that mean? 2,200? 2,200? Yeah, so 2,200. So times 10% would be 220 times 4. So we're looking for above 750 profit here. Okay. So we're risking not even, so if we're risking here just about 2% here, then a couple things come to mind. All right. First thing that comes to mind here is 2% risk is going to be how much? 2%, that's going to be literally $40, so just under 50 bucks. So we're risking $50 to potentially make $800. All right. I'll take that trade every day. Tesla skidding on earnings. So Tesla did not have the greatest earnings. Google looking fine. Super microcomputer, it says it's underpriced. Potentially it's still cheap. Market is mispricing it. Fundamentals support continued AI server growth. According to this article here, super microcomputer, mispriced risk, underpriced AI exposure. Investors may start to assess some entry points, balancing perceived downside risk against AI-driven earnings potential. There's going to be volatile supply chains, demand, execution, all that stuff. But when we're looking at the amount of growth that they've had in the AI market for SMCI, things look good. Some other articles here. Let's see. People are most worried about if they're going to continue to deliver on what they, on all the liquid cooling solutions that they have. But that's the thing. I mean, that's always going to be a concern for a lot of companies, but we've seen them continually deliver. A lot of people stress the downside scenario. We see that very common with Supermicro. A lot of people looking at the potential downside. Makes a lot of sense that that's what people are looking at. However, what I'm looking at for Supermicro into this next day, we're looking for targets of about $33 to $35 a share. Okay. I like the data center markets or the AI infrastructure markets this week as well. We're starting to see green into this week, which is good. And so just kind of anticipating some of that large cap growth. Prophecy starting to look a little more bullish. Mixed signals into this next few hours, but slightly bullish into the next day. So I'm going to run with that as well. The nearest support level is $31 for Supermicro. So we're going to be watching there too. Okay. If I was entering this stock Supermicro computer and not the underlying SMCX, then the entry price for what I just entered in on would be at $30 a share. Or just about $30.50. Yeah, they're looking good there. So we're going to be watching that throughout the day today. There's a lot of big movement happening in the quantum markets right now. There's been like 5 to 10 new companies coming out, but we haven't seen any sentiment shifts to where we're going to start moving very bullish in that market just yet, but I have been watching them. Okay, space stocks today looking pretty good. We see a little bit of green, nothing major. A little bit of green with Redwire up 4%, holding around $9.40. The chip market's a little red today, with the exception of SMCI, in which we're kind of playing that one this morning. Robotics, a little mixed as well. So not off to an amazing start today, but that's okay. We are just simply watching the market to see how things react. Okay. Any other major, let's see, data center markets. Yeah, data center market off to a good start. Cypher Mining's up 7%. Wolf is up. TSSI is holding at $10. Supermicro is holding as well at 31. So that's what we're going to be in today and focused on. Once again, we did lock in some profits on APLD yesterday on that short-term trade that we had going. Just a friendly reminder. You guys know. SK Hynix here, according to Johnny, is one he's following. Let's see. They got Not really sure on that one, Johnny. They're riding the revolutionary AI wave. I think the timing for them recently coming out is going to be higher risk at the moment. Financials look okay. They look pretty good. But I'm kind of letting that one cool a little bit after a lot of hype, a lot of people talking about it. Yeah, I'm letting that one cool. Wow. Micron is having some crazy targets all the way back down to $204. That's intense. Just goes to show, you know, how much stocks can rally to highs that they shouldn't be at, most likely. So a couple things to watch there with this trade we got going on SMCX here. We're up just about $135 now, profit. Okay, so nothing crazy, but we're starting to see this thing materialize how we want it, all right? So this is going well. Again, this is you know, $2,200 investment, okay? And we're up now just about 6.5%, I think. So at $140 profit, we could start to move our stop loss up, or we could keep it conservatively back down where it is around entry. But now we're getting above that $9.50 level as SMCX is up to $9.65. And so with that move, we can pay for, definitely we can pay for, you know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we could pay for Uber to go around all the city. We pay for our rents. We pay for everything. And still probably have like $60. With today in Buenos Aires, that's what it's looking like. Funny. So that's kind of actually been the trend this week. We've had a lot of small trades that are nevertheless doing well. But what we're looking at here with this $9.50 level, watching that support level, if we get that further breakout on SMCX, things could go, you know, very bullish. But still, with that 2x, we always have a stop loss set. So we have our stop set. Doesn't matter if it's $200,000 or $2 million or if it's $2,000. I still got a stop loss set if the plan is for it to be, you know, short-term entry, and it's not meant to be a long-term hold, in which we would not have a stop loss. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, guys, appreciate you all. The quote for today is going to be from, let's do a quote from, let's do Neville. Here we go. I love this. I was thinking about this the other day. Is there any regrets that I have? And I thought, I only see learning. I don't see regrets. But here's what Neville Goddard says about it. Do not waste one moment in regret, for to think feelingly of the mistakes of the past is to re-infect yourself. Turn from appearances and assume the feeling that would be yours were you already the one you wish to be. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great